Hello guys, welcome back to another FIFA 22 video. Today, 4-3-1-2, top 200, pro player, custom tactics and play instructions. These are actually 20 notes. Let's get straight into it. Start off with the tactics, then get on to the instructions. Defensive style, where you're going to be using pressure on heavy touches. Nice attacking formation here. You can see it's actually very similar to the 4-1-2-1-2, the shape. It's actually slightly more attacking because instead of the CDM, we've got three midfielders instead. So 3 centimeters instead of the CDM, unlike the 4-1-2-1-2 seconds. So pressure on heavy touch. It's a nice attacking formation. Get those players trying to win the ball back as quickly as possible. That's your goal with this formation. It's attacking formation. You can't afford to be defending too much. You need to try and win the ball back and get on an attack quickly. The width on 40 of the defensive width. So when you're defending, your formation's coming in nice and narrow. Mainly the fullbacks, it only affects. Just bring them slightly narrow, making it harder for the opposition to get through the middle, and so you're less open and wide. Depth on 67. So not quite 70. 70 and above, you get an automatic offside trap. We're just going to be using 67 depth. It works well. You're still playing quite a high line, but you're not quite high enough to get the automatic offside trap. If you look at the description sort of thing here, you can see when we get to 70, it sort of becomes more attacking. Sorry, 71 and above becomes more attacking. But then 67 is sort of still within the balanced sort of range, even though it's quite a high line. One of the higher lines in balance, but it still works well. So playing a high line, but not quite high enough for the automatic offside trap. Also, we're playing 2 attacking. We're going to be too vulnerable for the counter attack. For the build-up play, we're using fast build-up. Getting that ball quickly to your midfielders and to your attackers. Fast build-up has been slightly affected post-patch, but it still works well enough, this formation, and it says the best one to go with. So we're going to be sticking with that. Forward runs as well alongside fast build-up to get those strikers get those strikers getting on those runs quickly, so you can get the through balls to them, especially with your fullbacks as well. For the width on 40, still bringing it slightly narrow, so we're not changing the defensive width and the attacking width, both on 40. All it's going to do is not going to change your midfield particularly. It's going to mean your fullbacks are slightly narrower, meaning they're more in the game instead of right up against the touchline. And it also means your midfielders are not going to drift out wide, because you want to keep that diamond shape and those midfield triangles sort of as tight as possible. Not too tight that they're going to be running into each other, but not too wide that they're spread out. You want to try and keep that shape in the middle instead of spreading it out too much, which is why we're sticking on 40 to make sure that doesn't happen. Players in box on 7 to push your players forward into the opposition box. You may even want to go with 8. Really push your players into the opposition box, overloading that box, getting as many attacks as possible. Corners on 2 and free kicks on 2. So for the player instructions, your strikers stay central, getting behind, making forward runs behind the opposition defenders, and stay forward, stay at the top of the pitch and not coming back when you're defending on both your strikers. For your cam sitting just behind your strikers, stay forward and get into the box across to ensure they are always overloading the box and staying up the pitch, not dropping back when defending. You got 3 centre mids. Make sure your central one is on cover centre. Sorry, make sure they're all on cover centre. You don't want either of them drifting out wide. So make sure they are all on cover centre here. I'm going to not do it for the last one, well I will anyway. So cover centre on all 3 of your midfielders. And then sort of the rest of it is sort of up to you. If you want the middle one to be on stay back or attacking, you can do. Personally, I just leave them all default. I leave balanced crossing runs on as well. You may want to use stay on edge of box across, just so they're not pushing up too high up. Maybe on the middle one, but the other 2, it doesn't really matter if they go into the box. You can have these on getting into the box across to ensure they're overloading the box if you want to. For the middle one, maybe keep them slightly more defensive, but not too defensive. Otherwise, you may as well play the 4-1-2-1-2 second. But it's sort of up to you, the midfielders. I tend to leave them quite free and not really change too much. It sort of depends on what players you have, so I'll leave that down to you. 2 centre backs, leave default. Fullbacks, I recommend balanced attack and overlap. Overlaps, they're up against the touchline, making those overlapping runs on the outside rather than coming in on inverted runs, which is not what you want. And then balanced attack, I usually say stay back while attacking. If you have wider players up front, so if you have left mids, left wing, right wing, then use stay back while attacking. But you don't in this case. You need your fullbacks pushing up, so go with balanced attack. And then your goalkeeper comes across so your keeper's coming off his line to defend corners and crosses, and sweeper keeper for the same reason, just reaching out for that ball, getting that ball in his hands as easy as possible. That is on any keeper you're using. And that's everything for today. The 4-3-1-2 pro player custom tactics and instructions. These are 20 and they are very good. Trust me, I've used them in game. They do work well. So thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy using this formation, and goodbye.